Okay, we shall start now. So last class, what we have seen? Yeah, features of Python. First features we have seen, that is nothing but simple. Why
Simple
Python
and
is
easy.
simple? It has three reasons. One is rich set of API.
Reality.
What is API?
Yeah.
API is nothing but collection of modules. What is modules? Okay, collection of classes, variables,
Classes,
and
variables,
functions, right?
function,
And second reason is what? Garbage collector. What is garbage
garbage
collector?
collection.
Unused
Collection of
data or
unused
unused?
data.
Yes. Yes, good. Okay. Collection of unused memory. The purpose of garbage collector is nothing but to collect the unused memory and enhance the performance, system performance. Okay. Fine. Third one is what? User friendly syntaxes. Already we have seen that Python belongs to the simplest language because of its syntax, right? It is kind of a normal English language syntax, right? We do not need to follow such kind of syntaxes, right? Such kind of complicated syntaxes, so that people get confused with that, right? So Python has the easiest syntax, right? Easiest or simplest syntax we have. Okay. Second one, that is nothing but the freeware and open source. Open source. Now with this, I will tell you how to download Python software as well. Okay. How to download and how to use Python software. With this particular point, I will tell you. Okay. Now, why Python is also known as freeware and open source? First of all, the meaning of freeware is nothing but freely we can download it from somewhere. Okay, freely we can download it. What does it mean? If you go to Chrome, if you open Chrome or any website search engine, right? Here you have to write python.org. python.org. If you check this, you will get into the page where you can find out these many options, and this is the official website of Python, right? This is the official website of Python. If you click this, you will see Python 3.12.4, the latest version. Latest version is what? 3.12.4, and from here you have to download it. Okay, once you download, easy process of installing it. Okay, there is a easy process of installing it. Once you download it and install this, that's it. Okay, and once you install this, if you write Python here, immediately you will show Python app, ideally of Python. So here you can go and write your codes. Okay, here you can go and write your codes. For this you have to download the software from this. Okay, fine. Once you download, you will get an idea how to use it. Okay, now what is freeware? Python can python can can be freely downloaded. Okay, downloaded from www.python.org. That is the, and making it freeware. So what is freeware? We can easily download from www.python.org.com or python.org, where we can access the download page of Python, right? If you hover to this, if you hover over to this, you are getting the Python 3.1. This is the latest version. If you want, you can go to the oldest version as well. You check. Once you click on that download, you will get the latest as well as the old version of Python, right? Here you have to download. Here you have to come and you have to download. See, this many, what it is saying, sponsors. Visionary sponsors help to host Python downloads. Okay, if you are using Meta, if you are using this Bloomberg, Nvidia, okay, and Google, okay, these things you can use and you can download this. Got it? So this is one thing. Second, if you have Linux operating system, Unix, if you have Mac OS, then you can click into this and you can download the Mac operating system Python, right? So this is what it makes Python one of the freeware software. Freeware is nothing but the software which is freely available. The software which is freely available for you, right? That is nothing but freeware. What is open source? What is open source? People merge these two things, that freeware and open source are same. No, freeware is different, open source is different. Freeware means freely we can download it. Open source means the source of that particular software will be open to everyone, will be open to everyone. For example, uh, nowadays Instagram, everyone uses Instagram. What it gives, is it a free or we have to pay some amount? Free it is, but for some blue tick we have to give some amount, right? We have to pay some amount, yes or no? But for using that particular software, do we need to use any like subscription? No. For using that particular software, we can easily download it, right? And we can use the features of Instagram. Do I need to pay any fee, any amount for those features? For uploading images, do you need any amount? For uploading post or to scroll the reels, do you need any amount to pay? No. That means whatever the source Instagram has, it is open to us, yes or no? That is open to us. That means anyone can download that particular software and anyone can use it, right, without paying any extra amount. Yes. So this also, Instagram is also one of the freeware software, and also it is an open source. The software is open source software. That means source of that particular what I can say software is open to everyone, right? That is open to everyone. Similarly, Facebook, you do not need to pay any amount for that also, right? But if you say Twitter, nowadays Twitter we have to pay some amount, right, to use Twitter or X. Nowadays it is known as X, right? For that we have to pay some amount, yes or no? Yes or no? Some features are not available there, right? For that we have to pay amount. Or let's keep it aside everything. Do you have seen some software where we have to give the amount? Flip this Netflix, to use the features of Netflix we have to give the subscription, we have to take the subscription for from them, right? Similarly, you go for Hotstar, you go for Amazon Prime, these are what we have to pay, right? We have to take the subscription. These are not open source language, or sorry, these are not open source softwares. That means the source are not open to everyone. For that we have to pay amount. I'm just giving an example, okay? Now Python is what? It is an open source. Why? Because the source of the Python software is open to everyone, is available to everyone. What does it mean? For example, who, first of all, who is the creator of Python? Gideon. When he has created? Okay. Do is he still alive? No. Right? Yes or no? No. Yes? No. Okay. But Python is still there. Who is taking care of that? Who is taking care of that? Company name is Python Software Foundation. Who is that? Python Software Foundation. There is a company called Python Software Foundation who is taking care of Python. Yes or no? Okay. Now, who has created Python? One more time. Guido van Rossum, right? Guido van Rossum is the creator of Python. But the source, whatever he has written to make the Python, now the source is with him with Python Software Foundation. Everything Python nowadays, Python is getting or being take cared by whom? Python Software Foundation. That means this PSF, Python Software Foundation, is also having the same source what the Guido van Rossum had. Just an example I am giving you, right? That means whatever the Python software had, okay, when Guido van Rossum has created it, same thing now who is taking care? PSF is taking care. So PSF is also having the same thing. Are you getting it? That means source is open to PSF as well. Source is open to Python Software Foundation as well. It is simple. You have created one software, right? You have created one software, and you only have the access to each and every features. No others have the access, right? No others. That means that particular software is open to you only, not for others. Yes or no? Okay. Not for others means no one other can use it. Similarly, Python is one of the open source language. Even a normal human being also come and use the Python software. We are using all the software. We are using all the features of software. Yesterday we have seen how garbage collector works. Yesterday we have seen how library works, right? Everything we are seeing. That means we are using the features of that. That means particular software is open to us as well. As a programmer, that is open to us as well. Yes or no? That's why Python is known as open source. Python is known for its freeware and open source. Are you getting it? So what is freeware? Yes, freeware that can be freely downloaded from python.org. Now what is open source? The source would be open for if a software is having features which is open to everyone. If the software is having some source which is open to everyone, that is known as open source software, right? So I can say open source software like Python is is most often customized customized, okay, by various company, okay, various company. What are the various company? PSF is taking care of that, right? PSF is taking care of that. Various company for in-house tools, in-house tools, in-house tools or development. I will also add this. Okay, development. The standard uh, Python developed by Guido van Rossum and maintained by Python Software Foundation. Python Software Foundation. That means who has created? Guido van Rossum has created, but who is maintaining? Python Software Foundation is handling it, right? And is called, I would say, is called C Python. We can also call it as C Python, right? C Python. Okay. And let's see some other distribution as well. What I'm trying to say is the standard Python who has created, Guido van Rossum is created, maintained by PSF, is called C Python. Okay, is called what? C Python. And this C Python is nothing but it comes with compiled Python. Okay, it is nothing but a compiled Python, right? or we can also call, see, Python has been created with C programming. All the codes in all the features, all the codes the Python is considering, which has written in C programming, right? That's why we are calling it as, most the extension of Python is C only, not extension actually. The creation of Python has been created with the language C programming, right? Fine. Some distributions are, let's see some distributions. Some distributions like, I can say JPython is there. Okay, we can also call it as Jython, or we can also call it as JPython. Okay, JPython for Java based applications. Okay, that means what are thing we are using? Java plus Python. That is nothing but JPython, right? Or Jython we can also call it as. For what? Java based application, right? Similarly, we have something like Iron Python, right? Iron Python. And this Iron Python is used for C sharp. Okay, C sharp, or we can say .NET, right? More we have Micro Python is also there. Micro Python, and this is known for microcontroller, for microcontroller. Likewise, we have n number of distributions, right? N number of distributions. So now if someone asks you what is freeware and open source, freeware is nothing but freely available, and open source is what? Open source, tell me. Openly available for everyone, right? For example, Python, the features of Python can be used by anyone, right? There is no other way, or there is no subscription we have to take, or there is no something like the amount we have to pay for getting the features, right? Easily we can use the features of Python, right? Simple. Next, so freeware and open source. Next is platform independent, the third one. Platform independent. What is this platform independent? Can run in any platform, right? That means, uh, who all are using iPhone here? Who all are using iPhone? You guys are using iPhone. Some of the Android, Android software, can we use in iPhone as well? Most of the Android software we cannot use in iPhone. Can I say that is a platform dependent software? That means platform is nothing but operating system. Platform is what? Operating system. For example, let's suppose I have created one software just that belongs to Windows operating system. That belongs to only Windows operating system. What I meant to say is that particular software can only be run inside Windows operating system. No other soft operating system can run that particular software, right? So can I use it in Ubuntu? Can I use it in Mac OS? No. That means that particular software is platform dependent, OS dependent. What it is? OS dependent. Platform is nothing but operating system. Everyone knows what is operating system. Every mobile phone has its own operating system. It could be Android, iOS, or Mac OS. Mac OS is laptop, like desktop, right? Okay. Now I'm talking about phones only. So nowadays it is iOS and Android. Previously we also had for this Nokia, that was Microsoft, right? Microsoft. Why you guys are using mobile phone here? What is the need of mobile phone? Okay, fine. So that is what, whatever the software you are using, if it is platform or OS dependent, that means it is known as one of the platform dependent language. Python is one of the platform independent language. What does it mean? Which does not depends on operating system. That means if I run any code in Windows operating system, we can easily run those particular program into other software as well, other operating system as well, right? A simple example, um, Java, or let's take C programming. Okay, C programming is one of the platform dependent language. Why we call it as platform dependent language? It has one software called Turbo C++, right? Turbo C++. That Turbo C++ can only run in its specific operating system. For example, if I have Turbo C++, I can use it in Windows. For Mac operating system, we have to use different software, or we have to use the different extension. Are you getting it? Now, if you go and check here for download, we have the Python software for Windows as well as Linux, as well as Mac OS, and for others also we have, right? But if I write any code in Windows operating system, the question is, can we use those particular software or particular programming into Mac operating system? Can we execute it? Yes, that is the main meaning of platform independent. That means if I am writing any program in Windows operating system, that can also be written inside Mac operating system or Linux operating system. Are you getting it? But for other, like C programming or C++ programming, we have to have a separate extension for that. Are you getting it? Right? So this is known as what? Platform independent. Why platform? First of all, we will see what is platform. Okay, it is a type of operating system, operating system used to run programs or applications. Used to run programs or application. Now, what is platform independent or platform independence? Okay, independence. What does it mean? What is platform independence? A language is platform independent if its application run on every OS. What is OS? Operating system. That means a platform which can run in any operating system, that is said to be a platform independent language, right? Platform independent language. Now, is one of the Python is one of the platform independent language. Okay, because its execution environment stores all the values as as object, and, or I would say, which are independent from the operating system. What is the meaning of this particular thing? See, in other programming language, if you know about this, in other programming language, for every data, for every data it could be integer, float, character, string. Okay, any data, it takes some specific memory allocation, and size is also there for every. For example, integer. What is integer? If I say a is equals to 10, 10 is what? Integer value, right? A is equals to 10, 10 is nothing but an integer value. For every 10 value or every integer value, there is a specific size in other languages like C, C++, right? But in Python, what they have done is, they have whatever we are writing, if a is equals to 10 is there, then a is nothing but an object. A is nothing but an object, and that particular object is platform dependent, or we can say OS independent. It does not depend on the operating system, right? That's why we call it as Python is one of the platform independent language. It is not depending on the operating system. Okay, it is not depending on the operating system. And object which are nothing but independent from operating system. There we have the size. For every data we have the size, but here we do not need to take care about the size, because object can store any number of size or any size of the data. Okay, are you getting it? Next, dynamically typed. Okay, what is the meaning of dynamically typed? The fourth, that is dynamically typed programming language. What is the meaning of this dynamically typed? Okay, simple example I am giving you. Let's refer to C programming. Okay, addition of this. Just need to understand this. Okay, need to understand why Python is a dynamically typed language. If you check, what is integer data? Which stores only numbers, right? Which stores only numbers. What type of number? Can we store decimal number? No, only integer. Integer is what? It could be a whole number, natural number, integral values, right? Integral values which does not contain any decimal values, right? So that is nothing but what? Integer data, integer value. Yes or no? Right? So what is, if you check here, we are every time whenever we are declaring any variable. Now what is variable? Now I will give you one example. Okay, for anything, whatever you are storing, if you are downloading the movie, where do you store the movie? Where does it need to store the movie? In the memory space. Where? And that memory space also in some folder, right? With the help of that particular folder, you can get that particular movie easily. You can remember it as well, right? That in that particular folder I have stored the movie, right? Similarly here also it is the same. What it is, for every value, whatever the value we are going to take, we have to store it, right? If we want to use it in further application or in further program, we have to store it inside one of the variable. Variable is nothing but it is a kind of variable is nothing but it is a kind of storage, right? For example, let's suppose I am writing a is equals to 10. Is it visible to everyone? If I'm writing a is equals to 10, here a is nothing but it is storing, it is taking one storage in our main memory. In our main memory, in main memory, it is taking some storage. What is storage? It will create the memory. It will create the memory. For 10, it is going to take some space, memory space, like this. Okay, like this. Now if I give a b is equals to 20, now again for this b also one memory space will create. Memory space will create, right? And it is going to store what? 20. Are you getting it? This is what, how it stores the value. If a is equals to 10, 10 is being stored in a object. Everything in Python is an object. Everything in Python is an object. What do if I say everything is in Python is an object? If you write name, name is equals to, let's suppose you are writing Raj. So name is what type of data, or name is taking what type of data? String type of data. Everyone knows that if I write RAJ, that is a string type of data. If I'm writing 20, that is what? Integer, right? Integer. So what type of object it is creating? Integer type of object it is creating. What type of object this name is creating? String type of object it is creating, right? But if you check here, if I write something like a is equals to 10, b is equals to 1.2, what is 1.2? Float value. Float value is nothing but, I will explain you in deep about what is integer, what is integer, what is float. I will explain you, right? Float. Let's suppose c is equals to, I am taking something like Python. What it is? It is what? String data, str data, right? If I write d is equals to true, boolean, that is nothing but 0 and 1, true or false, right? So we call it as boolean value. Are you getting it? Right? But did you notice that before writing this, I am not initializing, or I am not using any kind of int of a, float of b, or string of c, or bool of d. Did I write? No, because Python is one of the Python is one of the dynamically typed language. What does it mean? That while initializing the variable, we do not need to declare the data type. But in C programming, if you check here, here we are giving the first number as our first variable, second number as our second variable, sum as our third variable, and we all these variables are being initialized as what? Integer. That means we are giving acknowledgement to the compiler that we are going to use what type of data? Integer data. What type of data? Integer. This is C++. Let's suppose simple in C we will see. Okay. In C also you check, before initializing the variable, we have to write what? Data type. What type of data it is? Okay. It could be integer, it could be float, string, boolean, complex, list, tuple, whatever it is. Okay. Whatever we can use, but we do not need to initialize in Python, but in other language we need every time. Yes or no? If I am initializing every time, don't you think it is a waste of time plus waste of memory as well? Okay, if you check here, I did not do anything. I did not initialize anything, right? While writing the values, did I use any int of, float of? No. That means these kind of language are known as dynamically typed. Dynamically. What is the meaning of dynamically typed language? That means at the time of execution, or we can say at the time of running it, at the time of running the program, PVM, the Python virtual machine, we can say internal process of executing anything. Okay, in Python, PVM is nothing but it executes the program. I will explain you when it comes to interpretation process. I will explain you how it works, right? So while, what is dynamically type is, while executing the program, PVM initialize the data type. PVM initializes the data type. What is data type? What is data type? The type of the data. That's why it is known as data type. Type of the data. If I'm saying a is equals to 10, what type of data? Integer. When I say a is equals to true, Boolean type of data. As we know that these are the type of the data, right? We have 14 types of data, we will see later on, right? Now, what is dynamically typed? That means we do not need to declare the data type before writing or while initializing the variables. Are you getting it? Raise the hand those who are having still doubt in this. You have? Okay. One more time will. What is data type? First of all, what is data type? Do you understand what is data type? What is data type? It is a type of the data. Type of the data, right? If I'm giving a note in Indian, there is a rupee, right? Type is what? Currency is what? In India, currency name is what? Rupees, right? So can I say rupee is a type? In US, it is a dollar. Can I say it is also type? So every specific country has its own currency, type of currency, right? In programming also, every data, whatever the data we are inserting, every data has its own type, right? For example, 10. 10 belongs to integer. 10 belongs to integer. Similarly, 1.2 belongs to float. So likewise, we have 14 data types. No need to worry about what is data types. I will explain you. We have 14 types of data types. I will explain you one by one, right? For now, in other languages, every time when we write any data like a is equals to 10, what type of data? Integer. Before, once we write the data, before this we have to initialize that it is what type of data? Integer type of data. If I write a is equals to 20.2, what type of data? In Python, PVM knows that it is what type of data? Float type. But in other languages, we have to say that this is a float type of data. Are you getting it? That is the meaning of dynamically typed language. That means we do not need to declare or we do not need to initialize the data type while writing the variables. While writing the variables, we do not need to initialize the data type. Who is going to declare this? Who is going to take care of this? PVM, Python Virtual Machine. Okay, Python Virtual Machine can do everything. Okay, that means Python Virtual Machine, while executing this, but while reading or by reading this particular data, that 10 belongs to integer class. 10 belongs to integer class, and every data type in Python is one of the class. Okay, let me show you with example. Why I'm saying this, you check it now. Okay, if I write int is equals to a, or int a is equals to 20, what I'm trying to say, I'm giving acknowledgement to the PVM that integer type of data I'm using, right? A is equals to 20. Check it, we are getting the error. Why? Because Python is one of the dynamically typed language. We do not need to declare int of a or any data type of variable, right? If I directly give a is equals to 20, now you check it, execute it. If I print this, print of a, check it, what we are getting? 20. That means now program is being executed. Program is getting executed or not, right? Now if I go for type of this, check it, type of a, what it is? Okay, type of a, type of a, what it is saying? Class integer. That means what? Whatever the object of a is storing, whatever the value it is storing, a is nothing but an variable. Also we can call it as object. In Python everything is object. So a is one of the variable, we can also call it as object, right? So a is equals to 20. 20 is what value? Integer value. And this object, behind this object we have one class. What class it is? Integer class. So what I'm trying to say is, for every object in Python there is a class. For every object in Python there is a class. Tell, see this, a is equals to 20. Class is what? Integer. Similarly, if I write a is equals to 2.6, 2.5, okay, now check What is the type of this? Float. Type of A, float. But it is a class. Check it, class of float. I can say every object in Python has its own class. Okay, that depends on the data what you are giving. If you are giving A is equals to true, that means the class would be boolean. If you are giving A is equals to 2 plus 3j, that is a complex value, right? 2 plus 3j is a complex value. Anyhow I'm going to explain you all this concept in deep. Okay, so if I'm giving complex value, that means class is what? Complex. We have 14 types of data types, means how many types of class we have? 14 types of class we have. This is I'm talking about the data types only. Anyway, we can create our own classes as well. We have predefined classes as well. Okay, so that is a different concept. Everything I will explain you. Now what I am trying to say here, what is dynamically typed? What is dynamically typed language? We do not need to declare the data type. Simple. Dynamically typed language is nothing but where we do not need to declare the data type. Where we need to declare the data type? Those programming language known as static typed language. Those programming are nothing but static typed language. You check it. This is C programming. Here, while declaring the variable, we have to declare the data type. Check it for Java. Java sum. Okay, add of two number. You check for everything, we have to check it. In 4 line of code it is doing, but before this, int of x is equals to 5, int of y is equals to 6, int of sum. Even for storing the addition of this x and y, we have to use what? Int of that particular object. Are you getting it? Or sorry, variable. In Java it is variable only. In Python it is, everything in Python is what? Object. Are you getting it? So we have two types of programming language. One is static typed, other one is dynamically typed. What is static typed? Okay. So we have we have two types of programming language. First is what? Static typed, and the second one is dynamically typed. Okay, dynamically typed programming language. Now what is a static typed? What is a static type? Where we need to declare the data types, right? So Java is what type of language? C is what type of language? C++, C sharp, static. But Python, dynamically type. Okay. Let me write what is this. Okay. Uh, variable variable must be declared with data types. Okay. To avoid compile time error. Compile time error. So there is a concept called compile time error. Okay, what is this? We do not need to understand because we are working with Python. Okay, we do not need to worry about what is compile time error. When it comes to interpretation programming language, I will explain you what is interpretation, what is compile based language. Already we have seen compile based language, right? At a time it reads whole data, whole programming, and throw the errors. Already we have seen compilation process says what? All programming, whatever the program we have done, at a time it will read whole program and give the output, or we can say error. If we are getting 50 error, that means at a time we will get the 50 errors. What is interpretation process? Line by line, it reads line by line. Okay, So variable must be declared with the data types to avoid compile time error. That means what? It is one of the static typed language. For example, examples are C, okay, C++, you can say Java as well, you can say C sharp, okay, C sharp or .NET, okay. Likewise, we have more examples. Are you getting it? Now, second is what? What is dynamically typed language? Tell me. We do not need to. Do we need to declare the data types? No. So I would say variables variables don't need to need, or I would say do not need to explicitly. What is the meaning of explicitly? What is the meaning of explicitly? Done by the programmer, right? Which is done by the programmer or developer. For example, static type, explicitly we have to write it, right? But here dynamically typed language means implicitly it is going to execute it, or implicitly it is going to declare the data type. Who is going to declare the data type? PVM, Python virtual machine, right? Variables variables do not need to explicitly use the data type, or I would say explicit uh, explicit data type declaration. Okay, what it is saying, variable do not need to explicit data type declaration. That means we do not need to declare the data type. Okay, Python is an example where the execution where the execution environment, okay, determines the data types, okay, and that based on the given values, based on the values, okay, values used in the program. Are you getting it? Doubt doubt have or not? You have doubt? Okay, one more time we'll see. What is dynamically typed language? What is static typed language? First of all, what is static typed language? Simple example, if I give you one currency, which I'm not saying which currency it is, will you be able to understand? Will you be able to understand? If I'm giving some, let's suppose, Chinese currency, I don't know what is the Chinese currency. If I give you Chinese currency, will you able to understand which from which country it is belongs to? No. That means what? I am not giving you proper information, right? But if I give you proper information that this belongs to China, this particular currency belongs to China, that means what? I am giving you the proper information, right? That is the meaning of static typed language. That means other languages like C, C++, Java, there we have to give the acknowledgement to the other person, or we can say to the system, to the Java, JVM, Java virtual machine, right? That this particular data we are going to use. Are you getting it? For example, if I'm using a is equals to 20, 20 is what type of data? Integer data. For that, we have to declare that int of a is equals to 20. We are giving the acknowledgement to the JVM or Java virtual machine that A belongs to what type of data? Integer data. Similarly, how I am acknowledging you that this currency belongs to China, right? Similarly, at the other hand, you know that currency belongs to China, and still I am giving you the information. Don't you think that information is waste? Because you already know that, right? What is the need of giving information again? Are you getting it? So if I give you again and again information that this currency belongs to China, this currency belongs to China, you will get irritated, right? Like this PVM also is. PVM knows everything. Whatever the value we are assigning, PVM implicitly knows everything. If I am assigning integer data, PVM will take care of that this particular data belongs to integer. If I am giving float data, then PVM will take care of that. We do not need to explicitly need to define or decide which type of data it is. That is why Python is one of the simple language. Okay, that is why one of the simple language Python is, because here one case is it is a simple because of three reasons. All knows what is three reasons. Second is it is a dynamically typed language. That means we do not need to declare the data types. PVM will take care of everything. Now, did you get this? Here, do you have any doubt? Yes, Ishwar's friend, you. I'm asking to you. Got it? There, everyone here? Online guys? What about you? Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
fine. Yeah. So this is known as static typed and dynamically typed. For example is what? Python. Python is one of the dynamically typed language, right? And also in Python, in Python, all the values are stored in the form of object, in the form of, and behind the object, or behind these objects, the or there are classes. There must exist the class. Okay, what I want to say is behind all the objects there is a class. That's it. Okay, if I'm using a is equals to 10, 10 means integer is one of the class. Okay, later I will tell you what is class, what is object, what is object oriented. Okay, so no need to understand now what is object, what is class. Just you have to remember that in Python everything is an object, and behind that object class is there. Are you getting it? Right? The most important topic that we will cover tomorrow: interpreted programming language. Okay, the most important topic here: interpreted programming language. The most used or most asked question it is in interview: what is the internal process of Python? How it executes the block of code? How it executes the line of code? Okay, this is the most asked question in interviews: the interpretation process. Okay, this may feel you, or this may, if you go through this particular topic, interpreted programming language, this may look so easy for you, right? But internally it is so it is difficult. It is not difficult, not at all, but it is important. You may feel like, okay, if I don't know this also, that would be fine. No, you have to have a knowledge of internal process of Python, how it works. Okay, that's why I'm telling you this is the most asked question in Python interviews. what is interpretation process, or how Python works, what is the work of PVM, what is PVM, Python virtual machine, what is interpreter, what is Python compiler. People says that Python is only interpreted language. No, Python is both compiled and interpreted language, because there is also Python compiler is there. There is also Python compiler is there. It is not a pure compiler language, but it also has the compiler that is known as Python compiler. And that compiler also works as the interpreter only. That is reading the data line by line. Okay. So tomorrow I will explain you, don't miss the class. Tomorrow I will explain you this interpreted programming language. Okay. Shall we stop it here? Do you have any question? Raise the hand those who have question. Online, offline, both. If you have any type of question, just raise the hand. I will answer the question. Yes. Here. Anything? Yes, online guys. Make it quick. Make it quicker. Yes. Shall we stop it here? Okay. So please do attend the tomorrow's class as well, right? And don't miss any class from now. So we are going to delve into the main subject. It is my humble request, right? Okay, fine. Thank you so much, guys. So see you tomorrow. Have a great day and keep practicing. Bye bye. Take care.